What it is, it's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing. Back with another one, man. I gotta talk about I wanted to talk about the fights that happened this weekend, man. I did a video earlier about Josh Taylor and what the his controversial victory to Jack Catterall. Now I gotta talk about my guy Chris Colbert. First and foremost, let me say shout out to my dude Gary Antoine Russell. My dude put on a great performance, bro. A lot of people didn't agree with the stoppage. However, he got the victory at the end of the day. I seen Antoine and Antonio fight in the amateurs, man. Just my dudes, bro. Shout out to them. Okay. I wanted to touch on Chris Primetime Colbert, man. Faced Hector Garcia in a off of a 2-week layout. Off of a 2-week notice for Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia, he came in this fight, only having on a 2.5-week notice, man, and was the heavy heavy underdog in this fight. Now, here's the thing. I wanted to touch on something. I don't know, and I've been trying to look this up. I don't know if Hector Garcia, let me see. I don't know if he had like a fight lined up because a lot of people, I compare it to like when Jamal Charlo fought Matt Korobov, right? A lot of people, that was a close fight, right? A lot of people was saying, oh, Jamal had a close fight against a guy that took the fight on a week notice. But see, a lot of people didn't know that Matt Korobov, and this is facts. Anybody want to bet me? Anybody don't? If you want to bet, feel free to play. We can put some money on it, and I can fact check you can fact check me. But Matt Korobov was supposed to fight on the undercard of Jamal Charlo versus Willie Monroe. Willie Monroe tested positive like the week of the fight, and then they made Matt Korobov, who was already on the undercard, they made him the main event, the headliner. They bumped him up to the main event with Charlo. So it was fair game. Both of them were supposed to fight that night. It's just Charlo's opponent tested positive for a banned substance, so Matt Korobov ended up being Charlo's replacement. Now, that means Charlo didn't have a lot of time to prepare for Matt Korobov. Matt Korobov didn't have a lot of time to prepare for Charlo, but both of them had a full 8-week camp to get ready. So, it was like, so it went as that. And so Matt Korobov, he put on a great show, but I thought Jamal Charlo won. So that I said that to say I don't know if Hector Garcia was like already supposed to be, because I've been trying to do my research. I can't find anything on him supposedly having a fight. So I said that to say this. Now, I didn't get to watch the fight. That fight I didn't get to watch. I went back and watched the Josh Taylor fight, but I couldn't find his, Chris Colbert's fight. So I don't know how Chris Colbert looked. I don't know, because I know they was talking about running it back. I don't know if he should, because that all depends on how he looked. Like if this dude only had if this dude only had just 2.5 weeks to prepare, and he just came out there and just whitewashed Chris Colbert, then I would say, Chris Colbert, you got to go back to the drawing board. But maybe if it was a close fight, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I have to go back and watch the fight. But I'll say this, man. It's not over, bro. It's not over for Chris Colbert. Okay? It's not over, bro. Losses happen. This is the sport of boxing. Like, stuff like this happens. Now, I understand in today's time, a loss is a lot more detrimental to your career than back then, seeing how people only fight in today's time 1 to 2 times a year. So a loss has much more of an impact than back then when boxing was actually just a sport. But, however, I don't. I do believe that Chris Colbert will. Well, I believe that he can bounce back. The opportunity will present itself again. He just has to go back to the drawing board and grind a little bit, man. But I wanted to speak on something that kind of concerned me with Chris Colbert, and I want to get y'all's opinion on it. Chris Colbert said in plenty of interviews how, he don't even plan on boxing like when he's past 30. Like Chris Colbert, he seems like he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like he's more so like, man, I'm just doing this till I can get enough money. Cause he, if y'all don't know, as y'all see in his in the pictures, he has primetime chicken on his his shorts or whatnot. He has his own restaurants. He's doing I think trying to get into the real estate or own property or land or some shit like that. He's just clearly doing this just to get enough money to where he can be financially stable with him and his kids. And there's nothing wrong with that. I respect that. But the problem is when I don't know, like, God, you got to take this with a grain of salt. I didn't watch the fight. But the problem is when you have a mindset like that, when you're 1 foot in and 1 foot out in boxing, the problem is you're not going to dig deep when it's time to dig deep. And it's going to come a time where you're going to have to dig deep. Meaning that if you're just like I said, like in an interview, Chris was like, hey, once I retire, I ain't never boxing again. He said, I ain't never hitting a bag. Don't call me he said, don't even call me to commentate, because I might not even do that, bro. He's like, I'm done with boxing. He's like, boxing is not a fun sport. It's not, you get hit, so he doesn't really like what he does. So it kind of makes me wonder, bro, like, do you have that hunger and a desire? And because, like I said, if you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, bro, when times get hard, bro, you going to fold. And you're not going to dig deep. And it's going to come listen, you can't name me. I promise you. I will give you my whole year's worth of salary, bro. I promise you can't name me not one fighter that has never had to dig deep in the sport of boxing. Not one. So that concerns me with primetime, man. It does, man. But and this was a title eliminator. This fight with Hector Garcia was a title eliminator. So, he'll bounce. He went down a few notches. But the thing is, he's gonna have to grind a little harder. But Chris Colbert, he can bounce back from this. He really can. He's young. He can bounce back. It's happened plenty of times. Victor Ortiz, he quit against Maidana, came back and dominated. Well, not dominated, but came back and beat Andre Berto back when Andre Berto was in his prime, and took him to war. It's happened. It's happened before. Julian J. Rock Williams got knocked out by Jamal Charlo, came back and beat Jared Hurd and became the unified super middleweight champion. So it happens. Whereas if you have a fight like if Hector Garcia would have lost, depending on how he would have lost, because it has been losses where the B side or the unknown guy has lost, but since he put on such a great effort, they brought him back as evidence. Like Isaac Cruz is gonna fight on the undercard of Errol Spence and or Dennis Ugas, or what's another fight? A fighter that that put up a great effort in a loss, and they brought back, so they had to bring him back. Oh, Santiago, the dude that fought Adrian Broner, he came back and got obliterated by my dude Gary Antoine Russell. So it happens, but if Hector Garcia would have got obliterated, we probably would have never heard from him again. So I'm glad Hector Garcia, Hector Garcia took the chance. He didn't pass it up. Even if it was a 2-week notice, Hector Garcia took the chance, and he took advantage of it, and it paid off. So I look forward to seeing both fighters again, man. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think Chris Colbert should do next. But hey, what do I know?